My name is Emily and I'm 30 years old. I've been married to Luke, who's 5 years older than me, for the past 3 years. As I sit down to recount everything that's happened, I don't even know where to begin. This isn't a tale of romance wrapped in a pretty bow. It's a painful, honest confession of choices I made and the damage I caused. Luke was the kind of man many women spend their whole lives hoping to find. Steady, compassionate, and endlessly thoughtful. He ran a small business that took most of his time and energy, but never at the expense of our relationship. Somehow, no matter how busy he was, he always made time for me. He knew how I liked my coffee without asking. He stayed up late to help me with little things I hadn't even noticed needed doing. He loved me without drama, just calm, consistent devotion. First, I adored that about him. His sincerity made me feel protected and deeply valued. But gradually, something shifted inside me. I didn't notice it right away. It started subtly, during casual catch-ups with my friends, listening to them talk about their husbands who seemed more adventurous, more charismatic, more everything. They'd share stories of daring weekend hikes or spontaneous romantic gestures, and I'd smile along but quietly compare. Social media didn't help. Every scroll through my feed was filled with snapshots of couples who looked flawless, living exciting, curated lives. That's when the doubts began to creep in. At first, they were whispers, easy to ignore, but they grew louder with time. I told myself I was being ungrateful, that love wasn't about flash or flare. Still, the discomfort festered like a quiet storm building just beneath the surface. I began to wonder if I was even deserving of the kind of love Luke gave so freely. Did I really appreciate the life we built? Or was I chasing a fantasy that didn't exist? Then came the night that unraveled everything. It was supposed to be a fun night out with friends, laughter, music, and a few drinks. But the drinks kept coming and I kept accepting. I lost track of how many. One glass blurred into the next until I was drowning in a fog of intoxication and simmering resentment I didn't understand. By the time I stumbled through the door, barely able to walk straight, Luke was there, just like always, waiting to make sure I got home safely. But instead of gratitude, something dark twisted inside me. I looked at him and out of nowhere I lashed out. "I don't even find you attractive anymore." The words hit the air like a slap, cruel, unprovoked, and completely undeserved. I didn't plan to say it. I didn't even mean it. But they were out and the damage was instant. I saw the hurt in his eyes, raw and deep, a pain I couldn't take back. The next morning, I woke with a pounding head and a pit in my stomach. The night was a blur until I saw him sitting on the edge of our bed, staring at the floor in silence. That image is burned into my memory. "Is that really how you feel about me?" he asked, barely audible, repeating the words I'd hurled at him in a drunken haze. My heart dropped. I tried to fix it, grasping for excuses. "I was drunk, Luke. I didn't mean it. I swear." But he didn't raise his voice. He didn't accuse me or fight. He just gave a small, hollow nod, stood up, and walked out of the room. That quiet walk away cut deeper than any argument ever could. From that day on, things changed. He didn't confront me. He didn't throw it back in my face. Instead, he became distant. The little things, those small tokens of love and attention, vanished. No more random texts during the day. No more shared laughter over dinner. Just silence. Cold, heavy silence. I tried to make amends. I cooked his favorite meals, even though I was never much of a cook. I left sweet notes in his bag, reminding him of our early days, of what we used to be. One night, I even reached for him in bed, hoping that maybe, somehow, closeness could patch the cracks. But he gently pulled away, his eyes full of tired sadness. "Not tonight, Emily. Maybe another time." I couldn't face the emptiness I'd created, so I ran from it. One Friday evening, overwhelmed by guilt and the suffocating quiet of our home, I told myself I just needed a night out to clear my head. But that wasn't the truth. I was avoiding it, avoiding him, avoiding what I'd done. That's when I met someone else. He sat next to me at the bar, confident and charming in a way that felt new. He smiled and said, "Rough night." I should have walked away, but I didn't. Instead, I let his attention fill the void I'd made. I let it feel good just for a second, to be noticed, to feel desired. And then I let him kiss me. The second it happened, a wave of sickness rolled over me. It wasn't passion. It was guilt, regret. And that's when I saw Luke. He was sitting in his car across the street, watching. No shouting, no confrontation. He just rolled up the window and drove away. The next morning I clung to the hope that maybe, just maybe, we could come back from this, that he'd give me another chance. I found him in the kitchen. He looked calm, but his words were final. "You showed me last night what I mean to you. What our marriage means to you." I broke down, begging, crying, telling him it was meaningless, that I made a mistake, that I didn't even know why I did it. But he just shook his head. "I need time," he said softly. "Time to figure out what's left." He packed a bag and walked out the door. He never came back. It's been 6 months now. Luke has moved on. He's seeing someone new, a woman who lights up a room, someone who brings out a smile in him I hadn't seen in years. He looks happy, genuinely happy. And me? I'm still here, alone in the aftermath of my own choices. Most of my friends have quietly stepped back, unsure of how to support me. Even my mother, when I finally told her everything, could only shake her head and say, "You had a man most women would pray for, and you let him go." She was right. There's no fairy tale ending here. No grand redemption. Just the heavy weight of remorse I carry with me every day. If there's anything to take from my story, it's this. Hold on to what matters, because once it's gone, no amount of regret can bring it back. I had everything I needed, and I let it slip through my fingers.